Welcome back to Animal Well, I'm Dear Darling, and remember, there is always more than what you see, where last time, we did not discover the Bunny Mural. The Bunny Mural is a community puzzle, which we were hinted to at Veni Vidi Vodka's amazing hint sort of guide of Traveller's Guide of Animal Well, where we knew basically there was something to do with the mural, and there was a website to use, to essentially assemble it. Yes. And with that, we have assembled the mural. I don't know, like, can I, like, show it very easily? Well, the browser's currently... Oh, I closed the browser, so no, we can't, I guess. No, I have it open. Can you see it? Boom. That is a mural we're trying to assemble. And I realised I didn't actually pull the canvas out to the side of the page, so whatever. And this is essentially what we'll be doing, because we found the control panel. Just at the end of last time, so this will probably take a while. But I suppose that is the love of these sort of games, is the sort of fun community aspect of it. To be able to put it all together, and then you get a reward that, even after painstakingly manually entering and painting the entire mural, once again, you'll get something from it, presumably. So, I don't know what the best way to do this is. I feel like it's very tempting to say the best way to go about it is actually just like paint the rabbit and then paint the rest in. I think we're actually, but because there's so many like little pixels of difference, I think it might be better just to start at the bottom and go across and paint literally pixel by pixel. As long as we get the first row correct, I think we'll be good to go. And you might be like, that's going to take forever, and yes it is, but we don't have a lot of options at this point. And if anything, we can afford to put a little bit of work in, seeing as that this mural is basically done and solved by the entire Animal World community, and not us. Well, I don't know, maybe you watching were part of it, but I certainly was not. So, we're gonna have to put a little bit of elbow grease in, really quite the minimal amount of elbow grease, mind you, to at least assemble everything together. Now, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. So one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how many yellows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the bottom row done, it looks like. So this is probably not going to be the most interesting episode in the world, I think. Probably just going to be a lot of me just going through my bumpers, inserting every colour we can, and then losing my track multiple times. I know I said I shouldn't do this, but I think this might be an easier reference point to be able to do something like this. Is that right? One, 2, 3, 4. It might matter a bit more later. I guess I think just the worst case scenario would be we do this and then it's like, oh, I made a mistake somewhere. Where did I make a mistake? I guess I can just always overlay the images with each other, and that would probably be like a very easy way to spot whatever the mistake is. And doing the image as a sort of a piece of a whole allows us to sort of take shortcuts where we can, you know, like draw the yellow lines like this, and then we'll draw the red stalks in. I think that's the wrong place. Here, right? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then it branches out. So yeah, this is the puzzle solving elements. I done something wrong here. This is too high up, I think. This needs to be down one, and there needs to be more. There needs to be like gutters on the side. Like that for you. I was gonna say, because I was like, this red one has nowhere to go. So it might not actually be that bad actually, because painting of flowers is probably quite a linear process. And then we just need to make sure we sanity check ourselves every now and then. Like, we should be right near the top of the canvas, yes? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gap. Wonderful. 1, 2, 1, 2. The more points we have of reference, the easier it's going to be. Because it's going to be easier to sort of like cross-reference things to another. Like they've been built the right way. But again, I am most worried about just missing out something and then being completely unable to find what is that something that I ended up missing out from the mural. It's kind of like, I got this similar feeling in another game which called Tunic, which I'm not going to spoil for you if you haven't played yet exactly, but there's one big secret which you have to put in a really, really, really long combination for. I think I even put it in wrong the first time, and I was just like, oh no, what have I done? Turns out I probably just misinputted it, but the problem with the things like this is like, you don't know, did you misinput it, or did you, get one of the clues wrong or something? I mean, we did that, now I think about it, literally in this series when we were doing the egg combination log, and that one actually technically was like a worst case scenario, because it turns out we actually did get the puzzle wrong, because one of the eggs was upside down, spoiler alert, which meant that we had to put their number in upside down, and I didn't, think about that, and I inputted the code like 4 different times, I think, to try and get a lead on exactly what 2, 3, 4, 5 we were doing. But it was difficult because you don't get a lot of feedback with these sort of games. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the nature of it, because I mean they don't want to give you feedback. You shouldn't necessarily be exactly told that you're on the right path. You should have a trust and inclination for it, because those who like to explore and find these little tidbit puzzles, the biggest confirmation they can get is, I suppose, whatever secret the dev is hiding, But for me, someone who's not like that, while I can very much appreciate the community aspect of a bug hunt, and at some point I need to actually download a game in time to make sure I can be a part of that, we are just riding the coattails of the greats. The goats, even, who solved this puzzle before us and have made the journey for everyone else be significantly easier. Because, who know what? Oh, that doesn't seem right. Who knows what could have been if it weren't exactly like this. As simple as can be, essentially. I don't know. Who can say? So I suppose if anything we'll just be like, well, this is the way it is, so maybe not a lot to complain about from my perspective. I wonder how long these community event or puzzles take to solve. Because I know that the game itself had a lot of interesting puzzles, I think. It was Animal Route, right? Had a lot of interesting puzzles during teasers and trailers and things like that, which I think is honestly very on brand for this game. It's kind of like what you would expect out of a indie puzzle Metroidvania, which allows you to sort of band together and really try and sort of tackle the problems which are big to an individual but not to a community, in an almost paradoxical sense. I say almost because it's not actually paradoxical. So this should be the final one, I think. Now that's worrying, because that means I've made a mistake somewhere. think. Now, the thing is, I can't see an obvious mistake. So maybe I just missed something out. I did in fact miss something out. I can see it. It's over here. I didn't put this in. Okay, there's something else. Noted. It's a crazy game of spot the difference at the moment. I wonder if I should do that thing, you know, the way you cross your eyes and you can sort of, all the differences sort of jump out on the page from you is how I describe it. It looks like that is wrong over here. Okay. So what does this mean? It's a rabbit. Wonderful. Another rabbit collected. So I guess if we go back to the tourist now, we'd be able to see the rabbit. I thought rabbits would leave like a code or something. I could totally foresee that happening. Okay, so that's what that empty space meant. Seems like there's more empty space as well, but that took forever to input, so let's go save before we move on to whatever the next rabbit is. So that was a 5-star difficulty rabbit. That's impossible, I think, to resolve by... well, literally is impossible to resolve by itself. But it's meant to be a community puzzle, so I'm glad for all the people who came together to be able to make that community... well, solve that community puzzle. But for now, we are riding on the coattails of them, so we're just sort of seeing what's happening. So the next bunny is what? Vines. This room in particular is found through the Bear Head shortcut. Okay. So we're going to go to that location, and then we're going to try and figure out what that means. So if that's not the Bear Head, this is the Bear Head. So we got a route to take, but everything else is in spoilers, so I don't know what that might mean. Nor do I remember this area too well. So we go down here into the telephone room, yes. Then beneath the telephone room, off to the right, here, through presumably this room. This room has a rabbit? Okay. It's called Vines, which I assume is meant to be helpful in one way or another. Just sort of drill things, see if there's something hidden. Does not appear to be the case. Right, I think we got our work cut out for us. Have we seen this room before? We have seen this room before, but I didn't know what it meant, it seems. Okay. Is it this room? This looks like an egg room. That looks like the manticore. I don't think we can bring the manticore here, though. Doesn't have a manticore sort of thing. Vines. Well, these vines have flowers on, which not many vines do. I just like... is it possible for me to just... check... is it this room? Solution is spelled out on the screen. Okay. Seeing as they made a map to this room, I don't think it's that manticore room. I think it's this room. And it's called Vines, so we certainly know at least something about it. The solution is spelled out on the screen, so I assume this is a code which we need to input. And it's the way we interpret a code, I think. Because I can't see anything which visibly looks like a directional code. And I think it would be rather difficult, whatever code we had to put in is probably a little bit sneakier. And I do, as I was saying before, the flowers I think are of noteworthy on the vines, because I don't think... no, those vines also have flowers. So it must be something, well, maybe not must be. Could be something else. But it should be obvious in some sense. Spelled out on the screen for us. we need something which basically translates to a directional input. Now, I don't know what that could be. I do at least want the platforms to stop being so annoying, so we're sort of like sequestering them off, so we don't keep moving the vines, hopefully. Right, so what could it be? What could the sequence we have to input be? I wonder if it's an audio one. No, okay, so, I mean, I did accidentally look when it said that it's spelled out on the screen. So there's something here which translates to some directional input. And if it's called vines, it probably is a vines. But I don't know how, to be honest. Maybe the position of a flower is the position of a cursor? I don't know if that really makes sense. Are these fireflies something? Okay. Maybe let's have a look at the second hint. Yes, it has to do with a chinchilla. Okay. Chinchilla. I don't see anything significant with you, chinchilla. Which I say does make this a bit more interesting. Wait, what? Oh yeah, we can't do it with a switch, okay, so it has to be like this. So something about this chinchilla gives us a code. Wait, do we have to do something? What's the next clue? No, you do not have to move the chinchilla, it's very rough on the eyes. Okay. This makes it seem like we have to make something like... So we don't have to move a chinchilla. It's very rough on the eyes. What could that possibly mean? What could rough on the eyes mean? It means it's probably difficult to discern, so you had to strain your eyes finding it? I'm not sure I understand still. I mean, the only thing the chinchilla is doing is it's brushing against the vines, which I don't know if that means anything. Like the order the chinchilla hits the vines? That doesn't really make sense. You can help it by dragging around the window in windowed mode. What? Okay, I'm dragging around the window in windowed mode. I don't know what that means. I think the problem is I'm not exactly sure what the nature of this puzzle is. I don't know. I assume this game gets very meta with things, but... Is it in the background? That's not really to do with a chinchilla, though. Literally spelled out on the screen. Oh, we can make a vine shake. Oh! That's what's going on with Windows. I didn't realise shaking the window. I mean, I do play in windowed mode, which is helpful. Oh, I see. There is a code right at the top, behind the vines. Right, upright, right, down, right, bottom left, right. Okay. Wait, what was it? Right? Like, the chinchilla doesn't really help it. The thing that's helping is the fact I can shake it in the window and I can see on OBS basically what it looks like. So it basically goes upright, down, bottom left, okay. Okay, a teleport. Well, we're above that room. Hello. Interesting. I don't know if I would have gone that by myself. That is a crazy level of observation that I think you need to be able to spot that. I think the actual puzzle is not difficult. That's very much an exploration puzzle though. Which I mentioned once, I mentioned multiple times, is not really to my forte. You just kind of have to notice it. Well, I'm glad we did, I guess. Even though it took a lot of prompting. I think the chinchilla comment misled me a little bit because I was looking at the chinchilla for ages. I guess it's kind of to do with chinchilla, it's more to do with the environment. It's not to knock the clue, I actually think it's a good clue. I think I'm just explaining why I didn't get the clue from it. So, that's 2 bunnies down. Again, not really something that we did a lot of contribution to, but the next one at least is easy. It says a tutorial bunny, and it's 1 star, so hopefully we can try that next. If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Well, I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.